Most gardeners are throwing away one of the most powerful soil boosters they already have. And sometimes, they're even damaging their soil with it without realizing it. I'm talking about wood ash. People either ignore it completely or dump it straight into the garden thinking it's some kind of miracle fertilizer. Both approaches are wrong. Used incorrectly, raw wood ash can actually shock your soil, lock up nutrients, and slow plant growth. But when it's fermented properly, something very different happens. It turns into a powerful, mineral-rich booster that can dramatically speed up plant growth. The problem most gardeners run into is that they don't actually know what's happening in their soil before they start adding things. Wood ash changes soil pH quickly, and if your soil is already alkaline, you can accidentally create a nutrient lockout situation where plants struggle to absorb iron, phosphorus, and other critical elements. That's why I always test soil conditions before trying any mineral amendment. One tool I use constantly is the 4-in-1 soil moisture meter, digital plant temperature, soil moisture test, and pH meter, sunlight intensity, because it instantly shows moisture levels, pH balance, soil temperature, and sunlight intensity in seconds. Most gardeners guess these things and end up making the wrong adjustments. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out, because understanding your soil conditions makes techniques like this far more effective. Now here's where the fermented wood ash trick changes everything. Raw wood ash isn't the miracle fertilizer people think it is. Wood ash contains valuable minerals like potassium, calcium carbonate, phosphorus, magnesium, and trace elements that plants need for strong growth. Potassium in particular plays a huge role in fruit production, root development, and disease resistance. But raw wood ash is extremely alkaline. In some cases, its pH can reach 10 to 12, which is very high compared to the ideal soil pH range for most vegetables, which sits between 6 and 7. When people sprinkle raw ash directly onto garden beds, they sometimes raise soil pH too quickly. That sudden shift can reduce microbial activity and cause nutrient lockout. I've seen gardeners add ash around tomatoes thinking it will help them, only to end up with yellow leaves and slower growth because the soil chemistry got pushed too far. The trick is not using ash directly, the trick is fermenting it first. When you ferment wood ash, you're not just dissolving minerals in water, you're creating a mineral-rich microbial solution that plants can actually use more efficiently. The fermentation process helps neutralize some of the harsh alkalinity while activating beneficial microbes that help transport minerals into plant roots. Think of it as turning a harsh mineral powder into a biologically active liquid fertilizer, and once you see what it does in the garden, it's hard to go back to using ash the old way. Here's the simple fermentation method I've used in real gardens. The basic setup is simple and works well for backyard gardens, raised beds, and even container systems. I start with 1 cup of clean wood ash from untreated firewood. Never use ash from painted wood, pressure-treated lumber, charcoal briquettes, or anything with chemical additives. That cup of ash goes into a bucket with about 4 liters of water. Then I add 2 tablespoons of molasses or brown sugar. The sugar feeds beneficial microbes and helps kickstart the fermentation process. Some gardeners also add a handful of compost or forest soil to introduce additional microorganisms. I've tested both versions, and adding compost definitely speeds up the fermentation. Once everything is mixed together, I loosely cover the bucket and let it sit in a shaded area for about 3 to 5 days. During this time, microbes begin breaking down the minerals and stabilizing the solution. You'll sometimes notice a slightly earthy smell and mild bubbling. That's normal microbial activity. When ash sits in water during fermentation, soluble potassium and calcium dissolve into the liquid. At the same time, microbial activity helps buffer the pH and convert minerals into forms that plants can absorb more easily. Instead of blasting your soil with a harsh alkaline powder, you're feeding it a diluted, biologically active mineral solution. Plants respond to that much more smoothly. In my own raised beds, I started using this fermented ash solution around fruiting crops like tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and squash. Within about 2 weeks, I noticed stronger flowering and thicker stems. The difference was especially noticeable in peppers. Pepper plants treated with the solution produced larger fruit clusters and stronger branch growth. The way you apply this makes a huge difference. After fermentation, I dilute the mixture before using it. The ratio I've had the best results with is about 1 part fermented solution to 5 parts water. Then I apply roughly ½ liter around the base of each mature plant every 2 to 3 weeks. For raised beds, I'll apply about 2 liters across a 4-foot bed. In container gardens, smaller amounts work better. About 1 cup of diluted solution per pot is usually enough. The key is moderation. Even fermented ash is still mineral rich, so a little goes a long way. This technique works especially well during fruiting season. Plants use different nutrients at different stages of growth. During the vegetative stage, nitrogen drives leaf and stem growth, but once plants start flowering and forming fruit, potassium demand increases dramatically. That's where fermented wood ash becomes incredibly useful. Potassium supports flower formation, fruit swelling, and sugar development inside fruits. That's why many gardeners who use this trick report sweeter tomatoes and better yields. But there's one mistake you absolutely want to avoid. I've seen gardeners get excited about this technique and start using it too often. Too much potassium can interfere with magnesium uptake. That's why I always limit fermented ash applications to every 2 or 3 weeks during peak growth periods. Balance is everything in soil. More nutrients don't automatically mean better plants. Healthy soil is about stability and biological activity. This trick also improves soil biology. Another interesting effect I noticed is improved soil texture over time. When you add mineral-rich fermented solutions like this, you're feeding soil microbes along with the plants. Microbes use those minerals to build stronger soil aggregates, which improves water retention and root penetration. In my oldest raised beds, the soil has become darker, looser, and far easier to work compared to when I first built them. That's a sign that the microbial ecosystem is thriving, and thriving soil produces thriving plants. Why I still test soil conditions regularly. Even though this technique works well, I never apply mineral solutions blindly. Conditions change constantly depending on weather, watering patterns, and plant growth stages. That's why I regularly check moisture, pH, and temperature using tools like the 4-in-1 soil moisture meter, digital plant temperature, and soil moisture test and pH meter, and sunlight intensity meter I mentioned earlier. It takes a few seconds and helps prevent overcorrecting soil chemistry. I'll leave the one I use in the description if you want to see it. Small checks like that prevent big gardening mistakes. The bigger lesson most gardeners miss. Techniques like fermented wood ash aren't magic tricks. They work because they support natural soil processes instead of fighting them. Plants evolved in mineral-rich ecosystems where microbes constantly cycle nutrients through the soil. When gardeners learn how to support those systems, instead of overwhelming them with synthetic inputs, plant growth becomes stronger and more consistent. It's less about adding more products and more about understanding how soil actually functions. If you try the fermented wood ash method in your own garden, start with one bed or a few plants so you can compare results. That's always the best way to see how a technique performs in your specific soil. And if you enjoy practical gardening experiments like this that focus on real soil biology and plant science, make sure you subscribe to the FamLogic channel. Share this video with another gardener who loves testing new techniques in the garden. Because the more we understand the living systems under our plants, the better our gardens grow.